When she was younger, Cher was known for dating some of the most famous and wealthiest men in the entertainment industry, but now, at the age of 78, her romantic preference seems to have changed drastically. 40 years may be a long time, but not for Cher and not for the secret person in her life. This video reveals the life, story, and the greatest rumor about Cher's love life and her bold response to all the rumor mongers. Cher's traumatic early life. Born on May 20th, 1946, in California, Sherilyn Sarkisian, also known as Cher, did not have the best of childhoods. Her father was a truck driver with a severe addiction to alcohol, and her mother was a retired actress and model who was struggling to make ends meet. Unfortunately, Cher's parents had a rocky marriage, and they'd often fight, argue, and yell at each other. Cher was only an infant, but it was not good for her mental well-being or happiness, and her mother knew that. Eventually, the gap between her parents grew larger and more prominent, to the point where Cher's father was barely around anymore. Finally, when Cher was just 10 months old, her parents decided to get a divorce and go their separate ways. Later, her mother remarried actor John Southall, and together, they had a daughter, Jorgan, who became Cher's half-sister. Finally, things began to look up a little bit for Cher and her family. Now that she was living in Los Angeles, Cher's mother took the opportunity to kick her acting career back in gear. So, while she was working as a waitress, she began to go for several auditions. She changed her name to George Holt and began to get small roles in film and on television, and by extension, she began to secure roles for Cher on television as well. Cher's life in the entertainment industry began, and little by little, she began to develop her dream of performing for people and becoming famous one day. However, as Cher clocked 9 years old, her mother divorced Southall and things seemed to go back to square one. But despite all this, Cher didn't give up on her dream and kept nursing her ambition to perform one day. In school, she single-handedly organized their girls' play and stunned her classmates with her amazing performance. Then in 1961, Cher's mother married a bank manager and he adopted Cher as his own. She was put in a good school for kids with wealthy parents, and as soon as she was admitted, she began to shine. All her classmates noted that she carried herself like a star, and when she was asked, Cher was quick to tell everyone that she would be famous one day, no matter what. Cher's big break. By the age of 16, Cher was certain that she wanted to be in the entertainment industry and be a force to reckon with. So, she dropped out of school, moved out of her mother's house, and traveled with a friend all the way back to Los Angeles, where she began to take acting classes while working to support herself. She was not shy or afraid to talk to anyone and everyone, even remotely, was a manager, agent, or someone who could help her advance her career. In 1962, Cher finally met American singer and actor Sonny Bono, and eventually began to work as his housekeeper. Bono thought Cher was special, and he was committed to helping her get her career off the ground through his influence. Eventually, the two got very close, fell in love, and then even got married. He had one goal, to make Cher break out as a solo artist, but Cher had one problem: she had terrible stage fright, and so she begged Bono to be on stage with her and perform alongside her, to which he agreed. Whenever she got on stage and was afraid, she would glance at Bono, and all her fears would melt into oblivion. Eventually, the duo became known as Keza and Cleo, and released songs like Do You Want to Dance?, Love is Strange, and Let the Good Times Roll. In 1964, she signed with Liberty Records Imperial, and Sonny became her producer. They released song after song, including Dream Baby and the cover version of All I Really Want Is You, which later went on to sit at number 15 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1965. The consequence of Cher's emerging success was that she began to get a lot of recognition, and for the first time in a long time, she was close to becoming the star she had always wanted to be. The end of Sonny and Cher. After working together for so long, eventually Sonny and Cher began to have marital problems, but still kept up appearances. It was important to them that the public still saw them as a married couple, but unfortunately, they couldn't keep that going very long. The two went to court and battled over custody of their child, and Cher claimed he was withholding money owed to her. Eventually, she won, and the couple went their separate ways. However, as expected, Cher's popularity began to wane, but she kept trying her best to stay relevant. On the side, she got involved in a lot of romantic relationships that didn't work out for too long, but in the long run, she wanted to be taken seriously as a pop star. Despite all, Cher was able to push through and get her image back through acting, singing, dancing, and performing. Her talent was off the charts, and everyone wanted to associate themselves with her. Cher aged beautifully and continued to bless her fans with amazing performances, but as she aged and matured, there was something about her that most of her fans don't know about, and it involves her love life, the rumor. Over the course of her life and career, Cher had been known to have entered a series of relationships, most with famous people, and others just seemingly random strangers. Although Sonny Bono was her first husband during their divorce and well after it, Cher had been with dozens of men, even before she met her husband. For one, in 1962, Cher met Warren Beatty, who was then known as a notorious playboy. He was only 25 at the time and already in a relationship with Hollywood star Natalie Wood, but that didn't stop him from having a steamy relationship with Cher, who was 9 years younger than him. She was only 16 at the time. Other people she has affairs with include David Geffen, Greg Allman, Gene Simmons, Val Kilmer, and even Tom Cruise, who she mentioned was her best lover. But even as she grew older, Cher's adventurous side wasn't dulled down. When she was younger, she gained a reputation for dating famous and older and wealthier men, but as she grew older, her reputation became that of a cougar who liked to date younger men. Now that she's 76, she had been getting incredibly close to one Alexander Edwards. Paparazzi had gotten snapshots of Cher and Alex on several occasions being together, and speculation flew around. It all started when Cher posted a picture of Alexander Edwards on social media with the caption, "Alexander," alongside a heart emoji. While some felt that Alex was her friend, others opined that he was her lover. But for a long time, nothing was concrete, and her fans kept guessing. Finally, Cher came out to address all of the rumors and shocked most people when she admitted that in fact Alexander is her lover. Before then, everyone else knew that he was a music manager at a restaurant in Hollywood. The two had met there, and something began to bloom. There was a mixed reaction to the relationship, as a lot of people felt like Alexander is way too young for her. According to several publications, he is only 36 and Cher is 78. There is an over 40-year gap between the couple, and more negative talk began to fly around. Either way, Cher made a tweet that silenced the naysayers. She tweeted, "I'm not defending us. Haters gonna hate. Never mind, as we're happy and not bothering anyone." What do you think about Cher's love life and romantic preferences? Let us know in the comments. Also, watch out for the next video.